evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
A very warm welcome to the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. We're finally glad that it has been raining for the last 2-3 days, right? Some respite from heat. The Bangaloreans generally have to deal with one thing, always. That is traffic. For some time, they have been dealing with traffic and heat. And now Bangalore has got its triple crown. Traffic, heat, and rain. So, outside it may get cloudy or dark, but inside there will be light. As we are going to have a star-studded meeting. So, are you excited?
Yes.
Thank you. So, keep your excitement high and any distractions low. So, the biggest distraction, please take out your phone and put it on silent. Thank you. Next, I request everyone to please avoid moving around the room, or but if you have to move or if you have to enter or exit the room, then please do so when you hear the sweet sound of an applause. And lastly, please refrain from talking about gender, religion, and politics. So are we all set?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, I am going to introduce you to someone. Now, this person had a dream. A dream to become an entrepreneur and to become a public speaker trainer. Today, he's a proud founder of his own company, Stage Catalyst. And he is transforming many lives as a mentor and a coach. He preferably likes to call it he's a teacher. Now we may think that he is just lucky, that his dream came true. Yeah? But what we don't know is that he has endeavored for his dream. He turned his cans into cans and his dreams into plans. He left his high-paying job in Dubai, joined a training program with Training Academy, Indian Academy of Training and Development, and immersed himself for a long time into Toastmasters. There was a time when he was attending 3 to 4 Toastmasters meetings in a day at different clubs. In a single day, 3 to 4 Toastmasters clubs meetings. And he was taking various roles and learning from each of them. Now, he says that he is just lucky. But we know that hard work creates its own luck. So ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together in welcoming the entrepreneur and the teacher, the one who is living his dream, the president of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Sheeb Kumar.
I wish that introduction never ended. Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Give a round of applause for Toastmaster. Welcome everyone to meeting number 1476 at Bangalore Toastmasters Club, and declare the meeting open. Hello, sir. Is it okay? Better?
Kind of.
Thank you. minutes of the previous meeting was circulated by our Secretary Toastmaster Mahesh. I request him to come here and give a slight glimpse of the previous meeting.
Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
Meeting number 1475 was held on April 25th. The theme of the meeting was Confidence is the first step to victory, and the word of the day is upbeat. The best speaker award was won by Toastmaster Amrit. The best evaluator was Toastmaster Abhay Kothari. The best role taker was Toastmaster Srinivas. The best table topic speaker was Toastmaster Srinivas Mungurala. And the best auxiliary role taker was Toastmaster Bhaavya. For further details, please tune into Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Thank you so much. Are there any amendments in the minutes of the meeting? If not, we declare the minutes of the meeting 1475 stand. I request those guests who came here for the first time, please to stand up from their seat. Those who came for the first time, thank you so much for joining with us. And members, how do we welcome those guests? Thank you so much. Today is a special meeting, not just because of it's number 1476. I think today amongst the crowd, I can see 6 past presidents. Yes. It's a one time, I think, maybe during my time, I think it's the first time. I'm seeing 6 past presidents in the audience. I request all of them to please stand up, please. Yeah, please. Priyanka, Toastmaster Vivek, yes. And Toastmaster, I think 5. Thank you so much for deserving. Thank you so much. Kumar, Nair and Shantakumari, they were teachers and they had 2 children. The elder one, Veena, and the younger one, Chitra. And the parents spotted early sparks of musical talent in both of them. So they enrolled them for musical lessons. And their teacher remarked, the elder one, Veena, is way more talented than Chitra. But slowly, Veena began to fade away from the stage after school. And when Chitra began to work on her talent, and she focused on sadhana, that is consistent focus, deliberate practice. Now, Veena is a successful homemaker back in Dubai. Chitra is a 6-time National Award winner for playback singing. And she is the recipient of Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri. And she is the second female Indian playback singer after Lata Mangeshkar to perform at the Royal Albert Hall. So what made a difference? Even though Veena was way more talented than Chitra, hard work beats talent, and talent doesn't work hard. I'm talking about the singer case Chitra. Way back when I was a sales professional, I had my own self-doubt. When rejections piled up, I asked myself, can I do it? Can I? So that's when I came across a gem from Tony Robbins. He says, whenever there is a doubt, when you ask can I, just pick that. Can I means continuous and never ending improvement. But sales is not about charisma or shortcuts or quick wins. It's about resilience, routine, and never ending show. You must show no matter whatever happens. You can't quit. And there is some numbers which I want to throw out. That is, in sales, maybe 2% of sales happen during the first contact. And 3% sales happen during the second follow-up. And 5% sales happen in the third follow-up. And the fourth follow-up, maybe 10%. And the staggering 18% of sales happen between the 5th and the 12th contact. that shows up, that shows how much of hard work you have to do in sales. And whenever I come across disappointment or rejections, I found a poem written by Edgar A. Crest. It's known as Don't Quit. It says, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, the road you are trudging seems all uphill. When the funds are low and the debts are high, you want to smile, but you have to sigh. So, rest if you must, but don't ever quit. Life is a stranger with its twists and turns, as all of us sometimes learns. And many a fellow tells about when you must have one and you stuck it out. So don't give up. If the pace is slow, you may succeed with another blow. Success is nothing but failure turned inside out. It's a silver thing of the clouds of doubt. You can never tell how close you are, you may be near when it seems afar. That's why don't quit when you are hit the hardest, because when things go wrong, you must not quit. I think this poem has given me so much of strength when I look back. What does it say? It says is, no matter what happens, keep going. That's why Thomas Jefferson rightly put it out. The harder I work, the luckier I get. Whether you stop or you keep going, it hurts. So it's better keep going. So to keep us going to the meeting, we have a special person. He is a chartered accountant. And I have many friends who are CAs. And all of them put their CA before their name in the social media handles. So we jokingly call them like CA means craving attention, and CFA craving full-time attention. But not our speaker. For him, CA means something else. The C stands for creative. He's not your typical number-crunching accountant. After working with the top 4 KPMG, he started his own startup to help other startups stay, succeed, and sustain. And his specialty, finance, innovation, and insight. So he uses creativity to name his firm as Philosophy. Isn't it creative? And talking about the A, he's an author. He's the author of a marvelous book called Of Grit and Guts. An untold story of greatness. Because it's a testament to his belief that persistence, resilience, and the extraordinary hidden potential behind everyone's journey. And to me, honestly, if you are a fan of storytelling, I recommend this book. Because throughout the 17 chapters, it's a masterclass in storytelling. Like, make a story, tell a point, and give away take. And give a takeaway. So ladies and gentlemen, this man, when he is not advising founders or writing company articles, or when he is coming on stage and giving powerful speeches, he brings that rare combination of depth, clarity, humor, and inspiration. And with thunderous round of applause, please help me welcome the Toastmaster of this evening, the gifted, the grounded, the gentleman Toastmaster, Toastmaster Ganesh Pai.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening.
Good evening.
It's an absolute honor to be your Toastmaster of the day. The theme for today's meeting is something timeless, relevant, and universally applicable. Hard work create its own luck. Let me explain or explore the theme through a story. A story that began in Gujarat. Yes, I'm talking about Dhirubhai Ambani. Born in Chaurat, Gujarat, into a lower middle class family with hardly any access to formal education, capital, or connection. It was a stage set up for failure. But what he lacked, he made up with quite a few qualities: a fierce ambition, determination, and a sharp and shrewd mind. As a teenager, he goes to Yemen as a petrol pump attendant. He makes some money, and anybody in his place would have settled for a modest and stable life. But he was not Dhirubhai Ambani, look at this. He returns to India, takes a small office in Mumbai, and starts trading in textiles. And from there on, he starts scripting a phenomenal story in the world of Indian business. Through great hard work, sleepless nights, and visionary thinking, Dhirubhai Ambani goes on to build Reliance Industries, one of India's first truly global conglomerate. By the time of his death in 2002, Reliance Empire had branched into petrochemicals, refining, and telecommunication. And his net worth, the wealth, swelled at $2.9 billion, which is a remarkable leap for someone who started his life with few thousands. Now, here luck entered the scene, or so it may seem. Now, after his death, his empire was split between two sons, Lokesh Ambani and Anil Ambani. You may say both were lucky to inherit such a massive wealth. But if luck played such a role, both would have been changed by now. But there was a different story unfolding. Mukesh Ambani, on the one hand, doubled down on his father's legacy through sheer hard work, focus, and bold ideas and relentless execution, built Reliance Industries and expanded into new age industries like telecommunication and retail. And today, his net worth at $92.5 billion is the richest Asian and one of the prolific business leaders the world looks up to. And even today, it seems he doesn't go to bed till he clears all his emails. And those Reliance senior folks say it's not uncommon to get Mukesh Ambani's mails at 2 a.m. in the morning. At the other end, what was happening to Anil Ambani? He spread himself thin. He was chasing glamour, politics, Bollywood, whatnot, lacked depth and rigor in execution, which sort of scripted his financial downfall. So much so that his sister-in-law had to bail him out when he was on the verge of becoming bankrupt. What was happening here? Same family, same inheritance, same surname, but two different outcomes. The difference is in the attitude towards hard work. If at all there is one lesson from this whole Reliance episode is, the luck may open a door, but it's hard work that builds the house. Now coming back to Toastmasters, the Toastmasters wasn't built through some stroke of luck. There was one man who was relentlessly putting insane amount of hard work to create Toastmasters as a movement has become. Yes, I'm talking about Ralph C. Smith. Toastmaster movement started in 1924 in Santa Ana, California. And Ralph C. Smith, its founder, had one single conviction. Anyone who's given a right environment could bloom as a good communicator and leader. And look at what has happened today. Today, Toastmasters is a global community of 270,000 plus members across 14,000 plus clubs in 148 countries, all united by one goal: to be better communicators and better leaders. Now you may wonder, for those of you who are new to the meeting, What happens in a typical Toastmaster meeting? Well, there are three parts to that. First is the prepared speech section. When our members come on stage, they have crafted, rehearsed, and they deliver speeches here under the guidance of their mentors. Then we have table topic session where you will see temperature soaring through the roof, lot of fireworks, fun, spontaneity, all on display. Third is evaluation section where we will give and receive feedback. Veteran Toastmasters will take the center stage and help us get better at our craft. And to lead our general evaluation today, we have a legend amongst us. You all know him as DTM, triple postgraduate, TEDx speaker, a doctorate, and so many other things, right? But what possibly you might not know is his insane level of curiosity. You will be stunned to know, in a year, he reads 7 books. The last time I had read 7 books was when I was in CA final. So, he likes to, in a world which is obsessed with the short form content, reading shorts, he likes to read blogs, listen to podcasts. He's deeply influenced by the work of Stephen Covey and Simon Sinek. Someone who has reached the top through his hard work, but it is curiosity which has helped him stay there. My mentor and someone who has helped me shape my journey in Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please put your hands together for our general evaluator, ever inspiring DTM Pradeep.
My role as a general evaluator is to see how the meeting goes and give a constructive feedback at the end of the meeting. To help me in this task, I have 3 very, very able individuals who will support me in this task. First, I have the timer, Sonal Sharma, who's a certified financial planner. She believes in constructing the wealth portfolio of individuals. She loves singing and dancing with her son, and she actually means what time is money. So she will keep tag of the time. So Sonal, can you explain?
You can stretch time, but you can shape it. You cannot stretch time, but you can shape it. And that's what most powerful communicators do. As your timer today, my role is to track the time for all the speeches. For prepared speeches, that is for 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes, I'll show green card. 6 minutes, I'll show yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll show red card. For table topics, 1 to 1.5 minutes. 1 minute up, I will show green card. 1.15 minutes, I'll show yellow card. And at 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll show red card. For evaluations, it is from 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll show green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll show yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll show red card. 30-second grace is for evaluation and for speeches. And for table topics, 15 minutes grace time is there. I'll report my speech. I'll report my timing result at the end. Then I will call upon. Thank you.
Thank you. At the R counter, we have a very, very amazing combination of sports and engineering. She is a fantastic athlete, cricketer, and also a software engineer. So you can hear the R's and ums when you practice cricket or when you play the athletes or do something like that. Also the ums with the software engineering. To keep a tag of all that, we have Guruprasad. So
when software goes live, what we do as a software engineer, we monitor and have metrics to it. Similarly, as a R counter role, I'm going to monitor all the and repetitive words, and at the end of the meeting, I will send them.
Thank you. in the most famous courier company TTDC. He's an engineer and an MBA, and he loves listening to podcasts just like me. So please welcome the grammarian Kumar.
Grammar is like hygiene. Everyone will start noticing it when it's poor. Good evening, everyone. As a grammarian for today, I am responsible for introducing the word of the day. Today's word of the day is intellect, which means to try very hard to an attempt to achieve a goal. An example of that would be climbing Mount Everest is a challenging endeavor. I will be recording those participants who properly use the word in this in the meeting. Furthermore, I will comment on the use of the English language on the quota board meeting. I am watching out for the 7 sins of grammar, which includes using double negatives, double comparison, extra words, incorrect verb tense, confused adjectives and adverbs, and inappropriate pronoun use and disagreement of subject and verb. At the end of the meeting, I will be presenting my findings to the general body.
Thank you. I will be back towards the end of the meeting to give my report and feedback. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Let's give a thunderous sound of With that, let's segue into the prepared speech section. So here we will have 3 amazing speakers delivering well thought out, crafted speeches. And each speech will be evaluated by a experienced evaluator as well. And you can look at our evaluator as someone who will show you either from where you are to where you want to be. So we will have evaluators filling out the speech guidelines. For the first speaker, the first evaluator is a veteran Toastmaster and a former president of our club. He is Global Strategic Accounts Leader Eapen at Diversity. I asked him, what are some of your hobbies and interests? He says he likes listening to global affairs. I leave it to you to figure out what he means. But he's somebody who always stunts his spontaneity during table topic. Please put your hands together for our first evaluator, Toastmaster Vijayan.
Thanks, Toastmaster Ganesh Pai. So the speaker is going to attempt a speech from the leadership development part. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note the time is between 5 and 7 minutes.
Thank you. Our first speaker is a newbie at our club, just 6 months at BDMC. He's studying computer science at PMS College of Engineering. Currently, super busy, tied up with 3 C's in his life: computer course, college, and communication, and that's what brings him to Toastmaster. We had a hearty chat on his hobby. I'm tempted to say what it is all about, but I think it's better you hear it from horse's mouth. Please put your hands together for our first speaker, Toastmaster Nihaan.
My mother once told me a story about a man and a boy. The man approached the boy, handing him chocolate. The boy took the chocolate, ate it, and fainted. The man removed out the gunny bag, put the boy in, and walked away. Gunny bag, I said, and I started laughing. I said, Mom, what's a gunny bag? She said, it's a jute bag that we have, like the one we put rice in the kitchen. I kept laughing. Gunny bag. At that time, when I was around 5 to 6 years, it was a very funny word for me. So I kept laughing and I slept. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me take you on a journey that was once a nightmare to me, is now a hobby. It's enrooted so deep into me, I cannot let it go right now. Now, going back to the same story, it was the next day. It was a hot summer morning, and I was watching the Karate Kid. It was around 55 degrees in Kuwait. So we had an AC technician come in to fix the AC up. The AC technicians keep alternating, they're never the same people. So these batch of AC technicians seem very friendly and fun. In fact, they even handed me a toy to play with. It was like, these guys seem really nice. The maid was supervising them while I was watching the movie. So they said, wait up, we need to go up and have a look and see. There might be some issue up. So my mate said, Nidhi, could you please point them over to the elevator? Okay. And I walked them through the apartment and I said, there's the elevator, uncle. He took me. As they were waiting for the elevator with an empty hand, come, take chocolate. I froze, remembering the story at yesterday night. Then he uttered to his friend, laughing, saying, Raju, pull out the gun bag. I kept my hands on my face and I ran, crying, waiting for my mom to come from the office. I went and I hugged her. I said, Mom, please enroll me in karate classes. I really want to beat them up. She said, okay, I'll talk to your dad. My dad said, no. He said, you're going to break your hand and your leg if you enroll yourself into karate. But I was persistent. He said, no. I kept crying through the entire week. Karate class, karate class. Finally, after asking the instructor almost hundreds of times, he said, finally, I was in. And I aced through the first couple of belts. I was doing really well. But as I reached the senior belts, I started losing interest. I was irregular. I couldn't keep up. It became difficult. I even lost a couple of chances to advance to the other belts. Well, a lot of people, this is not just about karate, in a lot of martial arts, people leave in the final belt. So did I, including myself. I left in the 9th belt of karate. For your reference, there's around 10 belts: white, yellow, green, orange, blue, purple, brown 3, brown 2, brown 1, and then comes black. The one that gets all the praises. Black belt. Well, I left in brown 1. My dad didn't seem too disappointed because he was the one who always supported me not going for classes. Every time I said, Dad, I have a leg pain or a tummy, oh, come, sleep. It's because of that karate classes. Well, as my mom would hang the clothes, put on the uniform, drop it. So it was, my dad didn't seem too disappointed, but after he learned how many people leave at the final stage, he was a little bit disappointed at that too. Then came a day where I walked in with the exam test results and I was like, Dad, I failed. Then he said, okay. To discipline me, he immediately called my karate instructor. He said, hello sir, good evening, want to enroll him back. And my biggest nightmare came alive. Mornings. Sir said, for the next 4 months, every morning at 5 we'll need to train. Otherwise, there's no way you can crack it. The reason why people leave in the last belt is because not only do you have to learn, not only is it difficult, you have to learn, you have to take on the journey all the way from the beginning. So I'll have to go and relive my white belt days, all the way from my childhood to whatever I have reached, achieved right now. So it was extremely impossible with how irregular I was. But I used to get up crying every morning. My dad forced me. Finally, I kept training and the test taking. And I did okay. And finally, the color black. It came over. My parents were extremely proud at this belt. But every time I looked at this belt, it showed how much dedication I had for this martial art. This push that my dad had given to me, and not allowing me to rest, even though he was so against karate, is what achieved this belt over here. That nightmare of the AC technician, even till this day, when I look at this belt, I can only think about his face. Well, that discipline and that motivation has been rooted deep inside me. Karate, and not just any martial art, it's a hobby right now. It's something I can't really live without. Well, once I came to Bangalore for my higher education, the first thing I did was look out for how I can increase the value of this belt. Because there's a lot more to this belt than just a black belt. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. So I looked into a Korean martial art known as Taekwondo. And again, just like the nightmare at 5 a.m., I continued, I pursued, and I kept going. And now every morning at 5, I got to get up and go on to my Taekwondo classes. Well, I have only 3 more belts to get the black belt in Taekwondo too. So that same push that my dad gave me, and the AC technician, the main person, that's what has got me and understood the importance of dedication. I was never good at karate. I was never good at Taekwondo. I was never the quickest. I was never the fittest. But the dedication that I had, a person would take around 5 to 7 years to get a black belt. But I was training for almost 9 years to get my black belt. So, every time I hear the word gunny bag right now, I laugh out loud, just like how I was laughing as a kid. Thank you.
Thank you so
Toastmaster Nihaan. I'm also in brown belt too. What in karate do? And whether you might want to be a little diplomatic, it seems he hasn't practiced his karate today, so. Our second evaluator for the next speaker has been in Toastmasters since July 2012. He has done his MSc. He works as application scientist at Paul Medical. He says he's boring, but I beg to differ. He says he can't make head or tail out of IPL. He doesn't watch TV. He's a vegetarian. He's a teetotaler. So I have found title to my next book. A mom who came to Toastmasters. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please put your hands together for our next evaluator, Toastmasters Sitanshu Pradhan Shetty.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Our next speaker would be giving his project 4 from level 1. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Time manager, please note, the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker and faculty.
Thank you so much. Friends, the next speaker has been at the club for past 7 months. He's done his bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from prestigious RD College of Engineering. He works as principal growth head at Google. Yes, you got it right, Google. But perhaps the most jealous designation he has is being a dad. Recently, he welcomed a beautiful baby girl into his life, and he is working overtime to make her smile. So, let us put our hands together for our next speaker, Toastmaster Anirudh Jattangi. His speech title is The Invisible Force Shaping the World. Toastmaster Anirudh Jattangi.
Imagine you wake up in the morning. Imagine you. Let's not imagine. Imagine you wake up in the morning. You get up. First thing you do is you open your smartphone. All of you are guilty of doing this. I can see your faces. I know. First thing, and imagine, once you do this, you're going to see a piece of news. And this news is tailored specifically to your interests. After that, you drive to work, you drive to office, and as you're going, Google Maps sends you a small notification saying, take this different route, you can save some time. After that, you get to work, you open your email, and then you see your inbox beautifully arranged. Primary emails, exactly what you need to see. Spam, stuff you don't need to see. Promotions, things you might want to see. And then, as you come back home, sit down, tired of long day of work, turn on TV, open YouTube, and there you see the perfect video, the stuff that you like following. That video is available for you to see. You see that too. Right before you're about to doze off, smartphone sends you a ping saying, just about hit your goals for today. If you keep this streak up, at the end of the month you lose 2 kgs. Now you might be thinking, this is what I experienced in my life. What is the one common thing between these 5 different instances that you've all experienced? It's all powered. Dear guests, Toastmasters, good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
It's all powered by the power of artificial intelligence. Many of you might have heard of this term very often. So let's try to understand this a little bit better. What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is nothing but a computer system that can think and reason like human beings. It has the ability to think critically. You might be wondering, how does something like this get built? It gets built through something known as machine learning, which basically means, and I'll try and explain this with an example. Imagine I needed to teach my little daughter how to recognize a cat. The best way for me to do it would be to get different types of cats. One fat cat, one thin cat, one stray cat, a white cat, a black cat, multicolored cat. So next time my daughter sees a cat, it will be like, oh daddy, look, cat. That's exactly what happens with machine learning. You take a bunch of different information, feed it massively to a system, and over time, it becomes great at recognizing what you're trying to show. Today, a machine learning that's been fed on cat will be the world's best veterinary cat doctor. It can create any sorts of cat in the world, it can diagnose any diseases that a cat might have. That is the power of machine learning. You might ask me, why does this matter? It matters because going away from cats, machine learning can help you solve complex problems that human beings cannot solve. Its ability to process, understand, assimilate, and dissimulate information is far higher than that of human beings. That's the point you ask yourself. Why does this matter to me? It matters, dear guests and Toastmasters, because AI is a force multiplier in your life. It's like having a PhD level professor in every single field in the world available to you at the tip of your fingertips. That is the power of AI. Now, you might ask yourself, okay, so I have a force multiplier with me. What do I do with this force multiplier? That is the big question I'm trying to answer today. Now, in order for you to understand what you need to do, you must first understand what is going to happen. Because only if you understand what is going to happen will the process of what you need to do become clear to you. Right? I want to help you understand this. Let's go back in time to understand one other revolutionary technology that came and changed the way mankind lives. Anyone wants to take a guess? Electricity. Think about it, right? And when electricity first came out, I'm sure the first few people who saw electricity thought, oh, this is just a fancy way to turn on the light. Look at electricity today. You're able to see me, I'm able to see you, these fans are running. This phone's recording me, all because of electricity. Electricity is what brought in the machine age, it's what brought in the industrial age. Everything we have today is because of electricity. A couple of years from now, that's what AI will become. It will become just like electricity. It will be a part of every single thing we do. It will be a part of every single thing we know. Now, does that mean AI will take over everything and human beings have no role to play? Absolutely not. What AI will do is it will take away the mundane tasks of your life. Those spreadsheets you hate analyzing, those silly emails you need to reply to, stuff that you waste time on, but you know that a machine can do for you, that will go away and you will get back the time to do things that you love doing. Things like achieving a black belt in karate. That's what AI will do. It will give you time. Now it's important to then understand what can you do to try and bring this into your life. Right? Now it's important before I get to that final part of my speech, I'd like you to understand what AI is going to do to you tomorrow. First thing that AI will do is it will revolutionize profitability of companies. Because when AI comes in, how profitable companies can become will change dramatically. Bottom lines will expand. Processes that are redundant will get eliminated. The second big change that will come is AI will revolutionize healthcare. Today we go to a doctor and I say, doctor, I'm Monday over there. He will give me a Doro 615 that I take away. But tomorrow you go to a doctor and he'll give you a medicine that is for you. The way we find diseases will change. The way we cure diseases will change. And all in all, this will bring prosperity to human beings. Third big change is that AI will change the way you learn. Today, in my classroom that I grew up in, there were 80 of us and one teacher. But my learning pace was very different from anyone else's. There were people who were much smarter than me. AI will be that gap bridger that will allow education to be truly democratized. Brings me to the last part of my speech. What can you do today to embrace AI? First, I think you must all understand whether or not you like this, AI is coming your way. The first thing is learn how to live with AI. The second thing is always remember it's important to leverage any tool responsibly. I'd like to conclude with with a small secret. When I wrote this speech today, I did it with the help of AI. And that's why it's a forced multiplier. Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Anirudh, you didn't tell us which AI you were using for this surround sound. But anyway, the key takeaway for me is in the age of machine learning, I think it's extremely imperative for us to be a learning machine. So with that, let us move on to the third speaker and before that, the third evaluator. The third evaluator is a veteran Toastmaster with over 2+ decades of experience at BTMC. We all know him as a humorist, but many of us might not know his adventurous streak. When he was a kid, he entered the cockpit of Boeing 747. He was flying between Singapore and Australia. Now you all must know why he always is on top of the world, top of the world. Friends, please give it up for next evaluator, medium Vijayan.
Toastmaster, yes. The project is negotiate best outcome. The purpose statements are: the purpose of this project is remember to learn about different types of negotiation and strategies that can be used when negotiating. The purpose of the speech is remember to share some aspect of a past or future negotiation in their life. Time manager, 5 sermons. Back to the team.
Thank you. Friends, our third speaker for the day is MTech in Materials Engineering from prestigious NIT Surat. He works as expert in aeronautics, aerostructure assemblies at Airbus. Recently, he was a keynote speaker presenting a technical talk at an international conference. So, being at center stage is not new to him. He is presenting his speech titled Mastering Negotiation Beyond Victory. Please join me in welcoming on stage the accomplished and very articulate Toastmaster George Dsa.
Have you ever negotiated with a 6-year-old boy over bedtime? I have. And let me tell you, this has made my negotiation skills, professional negotiation skills in office, felt like a walk in the park. That night, I felt that negotiation is not just reserved for CEOs. It's for everyone. It's not about winning or losing. It's about understanding and growing together. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
It was one night, similar way. It was raining. I could hear the thunder outside my home and inside as well. My son, 6-year-old boy, Enoch, sprawled across our living room like a battlefield, putting the Legos bricks all across like a gold mines, with a dinosaur on one hand, dragon on the other hand. It was a clear battlefield. I glanced at the clock. It was 9:30 p.m. It was a bedtime. I cautiously went into this battlefield and told my son Enoch, "Son, buddy, it's 9:30. It's time to sleep." My son did not look at me. He was playing and he told me, "Papa, 5 more minutes." And the negotiator knows when the other player on the other table around, if he doesn't look into eyes, it's just a tactics. He's not ignoring you, he's just stalling you. I just went with a bit lit higher voice. 5 more minutes. My son narrowed his eyes like a mini lawyer, as similar like his mother, who is also a professional lawyer, told me, Dada, give me 10 more minutes. The dragon is yet to fight and the war is not yet begun. 10 minutes has become 20, 20 has become 30 minutes. Then as a parents, we have to launch our negotiation options. We had option A, to be very competitive and dictative, saying that, just finish the game and come over. Option B, to be more accommodative, saying that, all right, finish your game and sleep whenever you wish. Third is, option C is compromise. Okay, play 10 more minutes and no more. But that night, I took little bit a better option, D, collaboration. I just sat down with him in his bar field, started to pick some Legos, and said, with genuine curiosity, I asked, what is the plan of dragon? His eyes got wider now. And he told, Papa, already the enemy invaders has landed with the spaceships into our ground. And the spaceships are hidden behind our TV stand. And still the dinosaur is not yet known about this. I looked at him. I thought this is going nowhere. Then I smiled and told, let us wind up this battle for next 3 more minutes. And tomorrow after your school, we'll draw your dragon like a superhero. Then he paused for a minute. His eyes got lit up like a Christmas candle. Then he told, Dada, deal agreed. Then he lit it up, brushed his teeth, came to the bed, put the bedsheet, and he took a sleep with a smile. The reason I am consolidating this is that night, what I achieved is I could have been pulled in, but I made a connection, built a trust, and made him to sleep with a smile. What this bedtime tale has to do with the real world? It's all about negotiation. We all negotiate. We all negotiate in office, we all negotiate in family, in friendship, and even in pajamas in a rainy day. So we can choose to compete, we can choose to collaborate, we can choose to accommodate, and many other negotiation styles. Compromise is transactional, collaboration is transformational. The main aim is the moment of where we are and where both the parties were to be. So dear Toastmasters and my dear friends, to summarize, negotiation is not only restricted to the CEOs or the legal experts. The truth is we are all negotiators. We, as I mentioned, we negotiate with every place, every day. So, negotiation skill with collaboration is very key. The best negotiation do not build any empire. They build respect, they build relationship, they build connections. And most negotiation deal doesn't end up with ink or signatures. They end up with love and understanding. Thank you. Over to you.
President Sheeb for the duration of the break. He said 2 minutes, I said 10 minutes. Finally, we struck a compromise for 5 minutes. So it's 7:25 now. Let's all meet at 7:30. Welcome back. Now we'll be stepping into one of the most exciting parts of the meeting, table topic session. The table topic master will tell you more about it, but let me introduce you to our table topic master. He is a rare combination of engineering precision and legal acumen. Yes, he holds twin degrees, one in engineering and one in law. He currently works at DMRCL. So anybody who has browsed on recent fair high or want to know when his yellow line became operational, which I asked but he didn't say. You can catch him after the meeting. But those of us who have seen him speak during tabletop session, he is a pro when it comes to impromptu speaking. But today, for the first time, he will be a table topic master. Friends, please put a hand together for our table topic master, Toastmaster Veeresh.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
To answer him, there are a lot of predictions and scientific research going on to time the monsoon. And according to experts, monsoon has to start by June. And similarly, I can also say train operations on Yellow Line might start by June. But that is just a prediction, and we never know. So, welcome to the most exciting part of our meeting, table topics. This is a segment where we think on our feet and speak from our heart. And most importantly, you will have fun along the way. Two ingredients I think are necessary for a successful table topic speech. The first one is hard work, that goes without saying. And just like the theme of the day, hard work creates more luck. Hard work and luck. I've asked many people, and they have said, luck is some magical force which blesses few souls. And then I said, hard work is actually built day by day and brick by brick. And if you have taken a closer look at some of the successful overnight successful stories, you will observe that it has taken years of dedication and quiet hustle and also invisible preparation behind it. The second most important ingredient for this is managing your anxiety. It is quite natural to be anxious when you are called upon the stage. According to experts, we feel anxious when we care for the subject. Since you care for your speech and also for the people in front of you, that's why you get anxious. And also according to experts, anxiousness brings the best out of you. So without further ado, let us start the table topic session. And remember, there are no right or wrong answers. It is just your genuine voice and unique perspective. So timer, please note, green card at 1 minute and yellow at 1 minute 15 seconds and red at 1 minute 30 seconds. So the first topic is, what did you do when it rained last night? And the speaker for this is Vivek, Vijayan.
I wish I did this. When it rained last night, I went out and just opened my hands up and welcomed the rain, and like the way you see in some of the movies and things like that. I've tried doing that, but the next I catch cold, and it goes on for days together. But there are different perspectives. My friend Jacob, he says that no, you should do that again and again. That is the way you get immunity. But I do not know if that suffering for many days is not really developing immunity. So whenever it rains, I huddle up myself inside. But what did I do exactly yesterday? Yesterday, yeah, exactly when it rained, my wife was stuck somewhere because all the auto rates had gone up. So she called me if I can come pick her up. So yes, I did go there, pick her up. And so that is something which I genuinely did yesterday. And I slightly, kind of drizzling, it was drizzling outside from my home. I ran to my car. That's all is needed for me to do Achi for the next several hours. So that's, for many of you, this must be like, am I joking? No. That's how low on immunity perhaps I am as far as rains are concerned. So rains are okay, but as fine as long as I'm inside house.
Thank you. When rain falls, some run for cover, some dance, and some other people think about immunity. Your childhood memories of summer vacations. Your childhood memories of summer vacations, and for this, call upon Toastmaster Jewel.
Sweetest memory I have for my summer vacation is my grandmother preparing all these lovely foods, and her crispy dosas that smell is still, it's just, it gives me so much of the feeling of warmth and love. I love my grandmother because I feel like she taught me what selfless love was. I would see that when we have dinner or lunch, she would just gather all her grandchildren together around the table, and she would just make sure that she would just one bite she would give from her plate. And she was that, I don't know, I feel my parents have definitely scolded me, but my grandparents, both of them, have over pampered me. And I remember when my parents scolded me, just running to her, just holding her, just hugging her, and taking refuge in her. And then my parents were not able to scold me. So I think those moments of love is definitely what I cherish, and that gives me a beautiful image of my summer vacation.
The best vacations are those when we didn't have Wi-Fi. The next topic is how do you unwind after working hard? For this I call upon Toastmaster Jacob. How do you unwind after working hard?
Good evening, Toastmasters. How do I unwind? I have a very peculiar way of unwinding, which is not so common. I like to do crosswords. So crosswords, very basic crosswords, a book which I got many years ago. I still haven't managed to do all of them. So I start, they give you a simple clue. When water falls from the sky, a very basic clue. And you have to guess a 5-letter word, what it could be to fit in there so that you get the word across and sideways, and it fits in with the overall picture on the crossword. So I feel that when you devote your attention, when you put your mind to something which mentally challenges you, it gets you to unwind from the work you have been doing that particular day. I believe that with all the stress that life throws at you each and every day, throwing your mind at something which challenges your mind yet again is the best way to unwind. And by doing these crosswords, I believe that, in a way, I've improved my vocabulary. Over to you.
Now I know why newspapers provide these crosswords and pseudo, that is to unwind yourself. The next topic is hard work or smart work. Hard work or smart work, what is your pick? For this, I call upon Toastmaster Abhay Kothari.
Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and hard work or smart work? I would definitely go for smart work, because smart work, because I'm a lazy person. And if you give a lazy person a difficult task, he will find the easiest way to do it. And one of my inspirations for this is, of course, the legend Tenali Raman. And what happened once was that a group of thieves were robbing him, and it was a summer season, and there was no water. The water was very deep inside the well. He didn't want to remove it, so he put an iron box full of junk inside, while telling his wives, and the thieves were overheard him, that we will hide all our wealth here. So while the thieves were busy extracting his wealth, he slowly dug channels into the ground, and as the water was coming out, it watered all his plants. So it's certainly an inspiration for me to do smart work rather than hard work. And at times, of course, you need to work hard, but you also need to work smart, because hard work can really take you miles, but smart work can really get you there really quick. So over to you.
Thank you, Abhay Kothari. I sometimes feel that Tenali Rama has reincarnated as Abhay Kothari.
Joke of the month. Very well said.
Moving on to the next topic. Share time. Next topic, please share the next topic. Share a time when luck betrayed you, but hard work saved you. For this, I call upon Toastmaster Priyanka. Share a time when luck betrayed you, but hard work saved you.
More than me sharing my personal story, I would like to share the story of my mother. My mother had a very, very strong demeanor. She was somebody who was a risk taker and a go-getter. So there was a time where she decided, if I'm not wrong, I might have been in my 7th or 8th standard, she decided to quit her job and start her own cafe. And I was like, I used to call her Momsy. So Momsy, are you sure like you really want to do something like this? I always had this question mark when my mother used to come up with these, these ideas. And she actually started her own cafe, and in just 5 months, it was doing extremely well. It was Victoria Road. And I was a little surprised for the way her dedication that she had, and the way the cafe was just growing, and it was doing extremely well. For 2 years, she was doing extremely well, and it was going to continue. And then my brother and me were in a crucial, class, that was our 10th standard. And that's when she decided to quit her business and pay her entire attention to us. Now the reason I'm sharing the story is hard luck or good luck, I'm not sure how does that work. But what I believe is once you make up your mind, you can actually do what you want to do. People can question what you're doing, they can question the time that you're in, can question a lot of things. But once you decide something, you will definitely be able to achieve it. Over to you.
Thank you, Priyanka. Like when luck kicks you out, hard work becomes real. So the next topic is hard work builds the ladder, but soft skills opens the door. Hard work builds the ladder, but soft skills opens the door. For this, Toastmaster Pradeep, Padbanabhan.
work builds the ladder, but soft skills opens the door. I'm first going to wonder why the door was before the ladder. Anyways, so before me, Abhay spoke brilliantly about hard work and smart work. I was a big fan of that. If you, Abhay, if you think you are a lazy person, meet me. I bet you I'm lazier than you. And I believe the world has been built. I believe the world has been improved by the lazy. You ask me why? Anybody's got a washing machine at home?
Yes.
Why was the washing machine invented? Somebody became lazy to wash it. Anybody differing in this? No, right? Why was the fridge or microwave or any such brilliant things, this light, fan, why was this all invented? Somebody became very bored from doing this. If you remember in this old movies, somebody used to hold a big set of feathers and do all this, right? Somebody got bored. So hard work is unbeatable. Why? Because somebody actually spent the hard work in building up the washing machine. But the necessity for that, with the effort of building up the washing machine, there was always a soft skill. There was always a smart work which is required to challenge status quo and say, why should anybody keep doing the same thing repeatedly? Why not find a better way? And I would love to be in that quota. And that's my time.
Thank you, Pradeep, for that. So it's like talent gets you noticed, but attitude gets you in. Next topic is 6-day work week or 4-day work week. For this, I call upon Toastmaster Shakthi. 6-day work week or 4 days work week?
1 day. I think in Bangalore, I think it's mostly 5-day work week, unless you are not in the IT, maybe it varies, right? This 4-day work week is a very interesting topic. In fact, I tried to follow it for a few months. So I didn't tell my manager that it's going to be 4 days. So what I did is every Friday I took a leave for almost 2 months. The reason I did that is I thought I want to spend more time for myself because I don't get that during my 5-day work week. So what happened is I became much more productive in a 4-day work week because I have to close all the work, anything that I have my commitment, I have to finish it. And I was having a good focus as well. And that is when I had this, I think I had the story of the focus mode where I started to spend less time on the mobile, right? So I think I'm a big advocate for a 4-day work week because when you have a time, you tend to actually stick to that. Let's say you have a deadline to close it by tomorrow, then you tend to, okay, I'll do it. I have time to do it. But you have less time, you try to close it before that. A 4-day work week is that way brings you the better.
Thank you, Shakthi. And those who are interested in 4-day work week can get into his company and make him as your reporting manager. The next topic is volunteering. How does it boost your professional life? For this, I call upon Toastmaster Bhaavya. Volunteering, how does it boost your professional life?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, I'm not a person who likes to volunteer, so I generally run away for any opportunity that comes to take initiative. But recently, I had an opportunity where we at that time it's like very embarrassing. So this time I was scared, but I knew one thing, I've taken up the challenge, so I need to prepare about it. So instead of just reading about the topic, I did this differently. I took that topic, so I tried to try it practically, so that if anything comes apart from the theory part, I know the practical part also. So doing this initiative, I was not only able to learn about a new thing that was apart from my work, but I became confident in that. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaavya. So volunteering, like when you give time for volunteering, it gives you back connections, confidence, and also skills. The next topic is how do you make a comeback after a setback? Toastmaster Guru. How do you make a comeback after a setback? Toastmaster Guru.
This is the one which always happens in my life. Every time what I do is I start building the companies, and suddenly what they do is they hire a CEO and they ask me to get out of the company. This became a routine actually. Sometimes I feel, oh good, my position has been taken over by a CEO. Sometimes I feel bad. Why I'm not able to get to that position? So that challenge is there many times. I've tried to come back out of it. But somehow, even the time also take away your chances. So whenever there is a kind of a setback, say for example, right now also I'm out of my position. Okay, again I have to look for a position. That is become a phenomenal for me, and I'm very relaxed because if somebody is having a challenge for the first time, they have that kind of a fear. Because there is a rejection of fear, how it is going to happen. Somebody is experienced, so they overcome the rejection of fear. So I am in a place where I want to overcome that fear of rejection. Because coming from, maybe I'm a person of a sale, I'm in sales. So most of the time when I go to the customer, 99% customer will say no, they will not say yes for me. So it is your thing to make them say yes. So having said that, so in every part of life there is a challenge, and you need to overcome the challenge with a proper way. Thank you very much for
Fall 7 times, get up 8 with experience, and that's a spirit group. Who or what is your biggest motivator? For this, I call upon Toastmaster Puneeth. Who or what is your biggest motivator? Toastmaster Puneeth.
For me, it's always been the next guest on the Rana podcast. If they aren't motivating me enough, why put in the 100 hours in researching everything about them, using their products or services, going through like barrage of comments, reviews, going through the history of the founder, whatever they have posted when they were like 17, 18, their college, contacting their professors, figuring out what was their growth journey like, talking to their friend circle, figuring out what other competitors think of them. Why would I do all of that if that person doesn't inspire something in me? I think it's always the next guest that I look forward to. And most founders don't make the cut, and it's hard for me to tell them, no, you don't motivate me enough to put in the effort. Yes, you may have raised money, yes, you may be already on Forbes list or whatever, yes, you would have been recognized by different organizations across the world, but if you can't ignite a little inkling of, hey, there's something interesting about this person, I would flat out say no. In fact, for the first 5 years, I would just reply with 2 words to every email that came in from a PR company or a founder recommendation. It was hard no. That was my reply to all emails.
Only until recently have I opened Galata up to include founders that I may not know much about based on an instinct from the past guest who's already gone through. So I think the person that really motivates me is always the next guest. The one coming out tomorrow is Vijayan Singhania, an unbelievable episode. Do check it out on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts.
When your why is so strong, your how becomes so easy. Next topic is, can you do a SWOT analysis of yourself? For this, I call upon Toastmaster Vijayan. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Strength and weakness.
Thank you for letting me know what SWOT is. Walking it felt like 20 kilometers. I can. What happened, being in NCC was a very good opportunity for me to realize about myself. The only reason being in the armed forces or its subset, the NCC for example, if you don't know yourself, then you really cannot do much in the organization itself. Strengths and weaknesses were, I wouldn't call weaknesses, I would call improvements or something that I can work on. Recognizing them were a very challenging aspect in my 3 years of college. I have a red color book, my diary of, not this one, the previous diary, this is a fresh book, of which in the last page there was a column of strengths, weaknesses and the challenges that I want to pursue on. Why I keep a track of all these things is because once what happened, I was just going on a scooter and the signal hit and suddenly, I don't know what happened, I recognized my weakness. I immediately pulled over, wrote it down on that diary as I had, and that was my first weakness that I recognized. Analyzing your strengths, weaknesses is one of the most crucial things and the most gifting, it's very gifted. You realize what you are. And I encourage each one of you to write down your strengths and weaknesses because it will make you really easy.
Self-awareness is the beginning of self-mastery. And that's a wrap on today's table topics, and I really apologize for all those people like whom I could not invite here to shine. But we really worked hard, thought smart, and made our own luck today, and all in 1.5 minutes. Big thanks to all our brave speakers who embraced the stage. Thank you, and over to
Toastmaster Veeresh and Secretary, please minute that June, the yellow line. Friends, we will be stepping into the final and most reflective part of our meeting, the general evaluation session. This is a session where our veteran Toastmaster will be slicing and dicing the entire proceeding, showing us the mirror, telling us what went well, what could be better, so that we could come back next time with a lot more impact. And knowing our general evaluator, I cannot wait to hear all the insights, the sharp wit and the humor that is going to unfold. Please put your hands together for DTM Rajeshwar.
Thank you so much, Ganesh. He told me at the beginning of the meeting he'll put me in a spot by telling all the humor and all that. And if nothing happens, then I don't have to worry about it. But thank you so much, Ganesh, for that wonderful introduction. So, fellow Toastmasters, today we started our meeting sharp at 6:30, and it was wonderful because as soon as I came in, she told me that the arms had come at 6 o'clock. And I was wondering, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And in fact, this was given to me by my business law teacher when I was in college. Mr. Narasimha Rao was my business law teacher and came to class for the first time. And he told, before I start teaching business law, I'm going to narrate a story to you all and keep this in mind throughout the semester. So he said, at the edge of a forest, there lived a hen and there lived a bull. And the hen wanted to climb a tree, but she didn't have the wings to fly up the tree. So the bull said, don't worry, see, I have dung, and if you eat that dung, you will get the proteins to climb up the tree. So the hen ate the dung of the bull for the first day. She could jump up to the first level of the tree, the first branch. The second day, she ate the dung. She actually flew up to the second level, so she was getting the proteins and the nutrients. The third day, she ate the dung and she climbed at the top of the tree. And as soon as she was on top of the tree, there were some hunters who were going by, they saw her and they shot her dead. And my business law teacher told me, remember, just like in business law and life, bullshit can take you up, but it can't keep you. Those who are clapping the most are the ones who do the most. So the same thing happens in life also, and I think so, Amrit Kaur, you did a fantastic job. You've been doing it for a long period of time. You gave a fantastic introduction. You started off with the triple crown, and I love the analogy of the rain, the heat, and everything, and the traffic. And you also introduced Sheeb very well. I think so you did a fantastic job. So please give Amrit a big round of applause. What I felt, Amrit, was you took a lot of time introducing Sheeb. Means you wove it in well with the theme, but you kept on talking about it. Kept on talking. How much time did she take, the timer? Sonal, any idea?
4 minutes, 10 seconds.
Okay. How much time do you generally, there's the Sajika down there?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So 1 minute, 10 seconds extra. Means it's very nice. I mean, Sheeb is not missing his wife because you're paying him so much here. But you have to make him miss his wife because otherwise he'll start getting ideas. Correct or no? So you please tone down. Means keep those so many details for a later point of time. But otherwise, for a fantastic job done, please give Amrit Kaur a big round of applause. Then we had our very, very dynamic president. And I know from today evening I've been saying he has the pragmatism of a grown-up man but the humor of a child. So that's why I call him Sheeby Baby. Correct or no? So Sheeb Kumar has such a brilliant way of doing things. Means the first thing as a president, the way he introduces the Toastmaster. And how many beautiful adjectives did he give you? Ganesh, what did he give you? Guardian, great glory, everything with G, right? So he has that brilliant tactic. I love that story about Veena and Chitra and how Chitra became one of the best singers. I loved everything about your speech. What I just thought was, I think so that poem went a little long. And I think so you forgot parts of the poem because even I know that poem. Correct? When things go wrong, and they sometimes will, and the road you're touching all is still, when problems press you down a bit, duration too much, but you forgot a minute. But not bad, you covered it up. And nobody made up. So we were wondering whether the poem was close. Nobody knew what you were talking about. So you spoke some poem for 3 weeks. So forget about those poems next time. Or shorten that poem and don't speak about that poem at all, right? So otherwise, I think so for a very inspirational message and for being a very good president. And remember, he introduced only 6 presidents, but actually there were only 5. You know why was that? Because he wants Ganesh Pai. Be careful, Chaitra. So he expected Ganesh to be president. Ganesh, the harder you work, the luckier you get. Correct? So, but anyway, for that wonderful speech, give Sheeb Kumar a big round of applause. Not to leave out Mahesh, Lokesh, who's been doing a great job month after month and week after week. I think so we've been blessed to have some amazing secretaries and the person who's living up to when Prakash left, I thought it will be very difficult to live up to his legacy. But I think so, Mahesh, you have not only lived up to that, but such a silent and good worker. So please give Mahesh Lokesh a big round of applause. And then we had what are the words you use? Whatever words, correct? Guardian angel, gorilla, whatever Ganesh Pai, correct? So Ganesh Pai, I think so, you were an absolute riot on stage. Fantastic. What I love most about Ganesh Pai and the Toastmasters, after each speaker he will crack one small joke, something or somewhere, and he will try and light up the audience. So I loved your sense of humor somewhere when you talked about Anirudh, Jattangi, the surround sound, when you gave everything, there was something, negotiation, you spoke about how you did. So everything had a repartee. That pays off when you are a good mentee, you know, because I also do it rubs off, and I think so it rubs off. I'm so proud of you, Ganesh, correct? Actually emulating me so well, correct? So I'm really proud of you for all that. And plus the wonderful story about Dhirubhai Ambani, and you know, he's a chartered accountant, he has to talk about Anil Ambani and all the fraud he's committed. He has to talk about Dhirubhai Ambani and all this accounting transactions. So I think so, Ganesh, you did a fantastic job. You worked hard, you actually gave brilliant introductions to everybody, you had a connection. What small suggestion I would like to give you, Ganesh, is when you started off, I felt there was a tinge of nervousness and the voice was a little low, and I felt that story of that Dhirubhai Ambani, dragged down a little bit, correct? So as a Toastmaster, you have to bring in energy. So might be tell, you know Dhirubhai Ambani actually, and don't talk about $1 billion and all. How do we know what is $1 billion, correct? We are all Desi fellows, correct or not? So tell, when Dhirubhai Ambani started, he started with zero, he went up to 60,000 crores. Then we understand. I don't know what is it, $25.5 billion or whatever. And now do you know that Mukesh Ambani has 17 lakh crores? So that brings in a lot of energy, and you also hype up the thing. So next time speak in, I know you are earning in dollars, but please, but make it simpler for us and talk in rupees so that we can understand. But for a great job done, for his sense of humor, and for the way he connected the entire meeting, give Ganesh Pai a big applause. Next, we had the first speaker for whom a gunny bag became a funny bag. Nihaan Jonas, and he is being evaluated by working for diversity. Vaidyanathan. So Vaidyanathan, please come.
There are three specific areas which the speaker had focused in today's project. One is the project calls for a clear purpose. The second one is it should be well organized. And the third one, it should be well delivered. Let us see how exactly the speaker fared in achieving all these three specific objectives. To begin with, clear purpose. There are two specific characteristics which came out pretty clearly. One is the dedication, and the second one is persistence. And these two are the key areas which the speaker wanted to convey throughout the speech. And he had two specific stories to highlight the importance of these two specific characteristics. So their clear purpose objective is fully met. And the second one is well organized. For a speech to be well organized, it should have a clear opening, a nice little body, and a firm conclusion. And the speaker started off with a wonderful story, a personal story, and then beautifully transitioned to a story which highlighted how exactly he went to the karate class and what happened between him and the AC technician. So the flow was quite nice from the opening part of the speech to the body. But one area where I felt he could have done better is the way in which the speech got concluded. Because we had a wonderful characteristics of this particular speech, which is about the importance of being persistent, the importance of being dedicated. That should have come out very well at the conclusion. So he should have said that this is what persistence had and the dedication which I went in actually what I did. So that is something that didn't come out quite clearly. So this is one area where you should have done better. And the third part is well delivered. When I say well delivered, there are multiple aspects to it. One is the voice modulation, the second being body language, and the third one being the pace at which the speech is delivered. This is where I felt the speaker would have done a far better job. Let me give an example. Mom, I want to join the karate class. Is something that you should have used, because this is a speech in which he was narrating a story, right? So in order to enhance the potency of that speech, then you should have used it like, Ma, I want to join the karate class. But he said, Ma, I want to join the karate class. The second, the pace at which he spoke was quite planned throughout. Let me give an example. When the AC technician said Gandhi bag, I started running. Okay, so he should have used the voice modulation, or the pace should have got like that. And finally, the speaker also talks about his taekwondo classes and the karate classes. Okay, so there is an ample opportunity for him to use body language, but we don't see that. So when it comes to these three areas, clear purpose, clearly done, very well done. Well organized, a part of it was missing, and well delivered is one specific area which I think the speaker should work on. Otherwise, a good story. Thank you very much.
I should have told my mom, I want to join karate. That got me up on my wife so much. But thank you, Vijay. Please talk to me. What emotion, Seriously. Nihaan seriously wants to cry now. But anyway, Nihaan, I think so you did a fantastic job. What were the 3 C's you told about him, Ganesh? Communication? Code? Knowledge. Okay. You can add one more. With the way he speaks, you have chicks in his life very soon. Yeah, you're a very smart boy, right? Very good. I think so. You gave a nice story. It was well written. But as he said, might be a little more emotive, and that will help you more in life to get the 4th C. Correct? So keep that in mind. And I think so. Fantastic job. For the next, what is one step ahead of AI? AI. What's one step ahead of AI? AJ. Anirudh Jattangi. So let's all and to evaluate him, we have the very bold Shakthi. That's what Ganesh was. Okay, I didn't tell. Okay.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. In order to evaluate our speaker's speech today, I'd like to use the letters A, I, and L. So with A, I mean animated. Do you understand what animated means? Yes. So that is drawing a leaf from our general evaluation. Having said that, animation calls for using all your faculties in order to express yourself, whether it be vocal variety, whether it be your gestures. He was animated. And the reason why I say animated is because he used his voice in order to express himself. He spoke like his daughter, where he modulated his voice. And the reason why I say he was animated is also because he used these gestures. He said, today, so he had a lot of animation, so which is good. The delivery is something that you are getting your grip on at this early stage, which is a very good thing, and kudos to you on that. Coming to I, with I mean illustration. For building a bridge with me as an audience member, I would love the speaker to use some examples. So what kind of examples did he use? He spoke about different kinds of cats which his daughter would think about. He spoke about health cat, which immediately resonated with me. So the examples were such that we could all identify with it. So the illustrations is the second part, the AI, and then we move on to the M. Now in this speech, the evaluator needs to look at whether the speaker has used the structure, which is the opening, the body and the conclusion. Now if I look at the content of the speaker, he had an opening in place where he spoke of the different examples in which we use AI in our daily lives, and some of which were kind of eye-openers. So the illustrations were very well used. The meticulousness with which you use the structure is what I was talking right now about. The opening, body and conclusion were there. The body of the speech had a lot of examples as well. Where I felt you could have done better is the L part of it. So the A, the I, the M, and then you look at the L. I felt you limited yourself in the sense that the conclusion had to be cut down, number one. You limited yourself with the stage usage. So these are the places you could have done better. You were extremely good in the content, making up the content, the delivery, but I would only say that just prune it a little bit so that you're able to deliver and finish on time, summarize and conclude. All the best for your future speeches.
Nathan, you're not at all worried, okay, please, whatever Ganesh tells, correct? Okay, but for that wonderful evaluation, you spent a lot of time on animating, that's the problem, that's why it's going to finish. But anyway, a great evaluation. What I feel, Anirudh, just like me when I started off my speaking career, we try and fit a lot of stuff in that 5 to 7 minutes. And I think so, Anirudh, that's been a repeated trend for you. Even last time when you spoke about why dollar is the base currency of the world, you try and fit a lot of information, and we try and fit a lot of information, and you want to give that information. You're excited about the topic. We sometimes forget that the audience can't grasp that much in 5 to 7 minutes. So if you write it down, it's okay. But if you're actually speaking it out, it doesn't get into the head of the people. So next time, sit with your mentor and trim out those parts and only speak those parts which are essential. I think so, Anirudh will become a great speaker. So please give him a big round of applause. Last but not the least, we had the man who negotiated with his son. And to invite on stage my mentor, the boy who went into the cockpit of a plane. But Ganesh didn't tell you one thing. He knew that one of the pilots was a female. That's why we call it the ladies' man. So please welcome on stage Vijayan.
Life is negotiation, to quote Christopher Wass. Mr. Sheeb, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I'm sure all of you agree with me that every day in our life, professionally, personally, and socially, we all are negotiating. So a project which is of paramount, very important to us. Toastmaster George, this project had 3 objectives. The first one, reflect on a negotiation that you had in the past, or perhaps you're going to have in the future, which you did. The second one, it's about your son, right? Your 6-year-old boy, how you negotiate. The second one, the 5 styles of negotiating, I think was partially done. He told us 3 explicitly and 2 perhaps implicitly. The third one I felt was not covered at all. 2 strategies to negotiate, broadly speaking. So I want to negotiate with you to share a few suggestions how we could perhaps raise the bar when it comes to this project. The 2 strategies, it says structure the project. A logical sequence could be the first. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 ways, 2 strategies to negotiate. Distributive, integrative. Distributive is win-lose, and integrative is win-win. That's the first one. I thought you would set the context for that. Second, a nice transition would be, I decided to use the integrative strategy of negotiating with my son. That is a win-win. Now here, the 5 styles Toastmaster George. I think we rush to it, like the bullet train is going to come from Bombay to Ahmedabad. If I were to place, I would have gone a little slow on each of the styles because it revolves around this project. The first one, the competing style. George would have told his son, stop playing the game now, pick the sack. Competing. Okay. Second, finish the game and then go to sleep. Compromising style. Okay, play for 10 minutes and then hit the sack. Accommodating. Fourth style. He knows if he tells his son anything, all hell will break loose. The toys will be hurled at George. The fourth style, avoid. And the fifth style, which he did, collaborate. Perhaps that way it will sink in slowly in the snake class. Moving on to the third and final suggestion, George. You would have told us the nasty consequences, the impact of each style, the positives and negatives. Just sample this. Competing, I said stop playing the game, what happens is strained relationship or forced compliance. Even in the corporate world, people don't like it. When you compromise, you say, okay, finish and then go to sleep, nasty consequences. Sleep is affected, next day gets a break for school. Extrapolate this. In the corporate world, when you compromise, nasty consequences. Accommodating, okay son, play for 10 minutes. Setting a bad precedent. Tomorrow 10 becomes 20, day after 30. Bad precedent. However, the fourth one, collaborative, it takes time and effort. You need a lot of stakeholders. You need the most important stakeholder in your life. Your wife, to pitch in and solve that, right? You need time and effort, something on those lines. Having said that, George, what I liked the best about your speech was, it was about a father and son, but you drew parallels to the corporate world, which also helps. Just to sign off, they say, right? Negotiation is not about getting to a yes. It's about understanding the path to agreement. And I'm sure all of us on the same path will agree with you that you are doing a great job with your presentations. Back to the team.
After Vijay gives his elaborate evaluation, there's nothing goes wrong. I think so, George, you did a fantastic job. Just a little more, I know you talked about your son, but just a little more animation, bringing out the child in all of us and making it a little more interesting would have made it better. But otherwise, give George and Vijayan a big round of applause. Then we had the break, and after the break, we had the very, very vivacious Veeresh on stage. If Abhay Kothari is Tenali Rahman reincarnated, I think so, Veeresh is Krishna Deva Raya. Came like a king on stage, and he started explaining. Fantastic job. But I became he gave experts say that you get anxiety. I was getting anxiety because you spoke for 4 minutes introducing table topics. What is anxiety? What you should do with table topics? What you shouldn't do with table topics? Then I thought, might be thought it's a prepared speech. Then finally we started the table topics. I got a relief. Thank God, Veeresh started the table topics. But once you started, Veeresh, it was fantastic. All very, very nice topics. Exactly topics which people could relate to, hard work versus smart work, the way in which what happened in the rain yesterday, and we could come to know about the people. So you can know Vivek Vijayan, when they talked about rain, first he talked about cold, then he talked about his friend, then he talked about his wife, so he's got his priorities right. And Puneeth will never miss an opportunity to publicize that. Never. BTMC should send you a publicity bill. 100%. Please send your next podcast link, and Sheeb, you can charge it how much you want. As a part of Galata Cast, whatever it is called. But Puneeth, very good. You publicize your podcast, and even though you publicize, I don't think so many people listen to it. But anyway, a good job done, and I don't know what happened to you, Veeresh. You're giving such easy topics, but when you came to Priyanka, you have some envy with her. What was the topic he gave you? Some hard luck betrays you. She was feeling betrayed by you. Something good luck with something. I don't know what you saw in Priyanka that you gave a hard topic to. For everybody else, easy topic. I don't know what was there, Veeresh, but anyway, something or the other. I think so. It's a yellow line frustration. Correct? But otherwise, very good job, good topics, nice pass-throughs from each person, but don't spend so much time introducing the table topics. We don't need anxiety experts. We need table topic masters. Correct? So next time just introduce it for 2 minutes. See, because of that, you couldn't call 2 or 3 people. Had you not talked about anxiety and the other things which you talked, purple line, yellow line, whatever, you would have given 2 more people a chance to talk. But otherwise, for you being such a great Krishnadevaraya and Abhay Kothari being such a great Tenali Raman, please give them a big round of start off with your timer report and be very quick. We are running out of time.
So everybody was in almost on time. Amrit 4 minutes 10 seconds. Sheeb 9 minutes 57 seconds. I would just like to tell the timings for the speeches. PM Nihaan 6 minutes 2 seconds. PM Anirudh 7 minutes 23 seconds. PM George 6 minutes 3 seconds. The time after 1 minute 30 seconds were in table topic speeches. Table topic was PM Jacob, PM Priyanka, PM Pradeep, PM Guru, PM Puneeth and PM Bhaavya. Evaluation PM Vijayan 3 minutes 18 seconds. PM Sitanshu Shudhan 3 minutes 37 seconds and PM Vijayan 3 minutes 17 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you so much. For the R counter, we have Shweta Prasad, Shweta, quickly. Hit a 6 out.
So, there were 3 people who have exceeded up. TM Jewel, TM Shakthi, TM Bhaavya, which is around 13% of the whole crowd here. We have 17 out of 23 people who are using less than 5 words, and 0 crutches by Amrit, TM Amrit, Mahesh, Anirudh, Veeresh, and Vijayan.
And finally, we have the grammarian, Kumar. Nitesh, be brief.
Good evening, everyone. So, starting from the good usage of language, some of the stances are straight from heat, triple crown, cans into cans, sparks of musical talent, harder I work, luckier I get, strict setup of failure, scripted is financial downfall, fireworks, fun, and spontaneity. Starting with the not so good usage of language. First is introduction, it should be never ends. Please to stand up should be repeat. Request to stand up, please. Life is a stranger with twists and turns should be life is strange with its own twists and turns. A lot of martial art people should be a lot of people who practice martial arts. I was training for 9 years to get the brain, should be I trained for 9 years to get the brain. Fed it massively to the system should be fed massively into the system. Force multiplier to your life should be force multiplier in your life. And last but not the least, word of the day was used by Toastmaster Amrit. That's it from my side.
Thank you so much. Before I wind up, let me tell you, there is one person in history who has one country, 2 states, 14 cities, towns and hamlets, and 400 streets named after him. His name is Christopher Columbus. And you know, when Christopher Columbus set sail, he faced the most difficult hardships. His ship's crew went on mutiny, his ship had lack of supplies, but every day in his diary he wrote one word. Today it was difficult, but we still sail on. And the harder he worked, the luckier he got. He wanted to come to India, but he discovered America. And that stands testimony to the harder you work. So if you want a city named after you, sail west, you'll reach east, whatever it happens. Correct? So the harder you work, the luckier you get. With this, I would like to thank the VP Education and the entire team for giving me this opportunity, and back to the Toastmaster of the day, Ganesh Pai. Thank you so much.
In the group, the passcode is 2525. I'll give 30 seconds to passcode is 2525. Thank you for being such a great audience. With that, I hand over the stage back to our president, Sheeb.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ganesh Pai. I request now our VP Education, Toastmaster Chaitra, to give away the Level 3 completion certificate to Toastmasters George. Contest. I think it's a great achievement for the club also. The best auxiliary role taker award goes to a timer of the day, Toastmaster Ronarey. Goes to reincarnation. Abhay, Kothari. The best evaluator award goes to Vijayan. Award goes to Toastmaster Anirudh, Jattangi. To come back onto the stage for a photograph. Is it okay, Mahesh?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. With this, I close the meeting. 1 4 7 6. Thank you so much.